welcome, penny stock billionaires. I'm coming to you live for the closing bell, coming to you from an undisclosed location. Look, NexTech is breaking out. This is what I've been telling you for quite a while now, and it's happening right now as we speak. The stock is going into full moon mode. We're at $1.03 Canadian. The pennant, I've been telling you about this pennant, which was started around October 18th. You can see, I can't really draw it for you, but there's a second pennant, and now we broke out of that. Check out the Twitter comments I made earlier today in response to I think there was a guy saying the next that looked like it was stolen, but I said, hey, look, there's a pennant, and I drew the pennant for him. You can see the tweet there, and it's going on right now. Look, what we're seeing right now with NexTech is exactly the type of breakout that we saw with Peak Fintech. Remember Peak Fintech? I was telling you for months, it's gonna break out. It's gonna break out. The stock was $2, $2.50, whatever it was, pre-split. I guess it would be $5, and then it tripled. It tripled in a month. The big money is made on the breakouts. The big money. So these stocks consolidate for months, weeks, whatever it is, and then everybody gives up hope, and then all of a sudden they break out. Hang on, let me get out of the screen. I'm sorry, I had this. Yeah, you want to look at this. You don't want to look at my face. Look, this thing is going into full moon mode. NexTech. I mean, look, the chart. I start with the charts. Because the charts are the absolute. It's the absolute truth. It's not me telling you stuff. It's not the CEO telling you. It's not, the government. It's pure mathematical, absolute science. Hang on one second. Let me just get into this. Where are we? Yeah. Forget about the chart breakout. Let's look at the moving average, because that is the main thing here. Look. Where are we? Right now? Okay, so we broke out of the 50-day moving average to the 200-day moving average. What does this mean? What does it mean when we break out of the 50 and 200-day moving average? Do you guys understand the significance of this? Do you understand the significance of? I mean, I'm shocked that the stock is not doubled already, because look what it's happened in the past when we broke out of those key levels. Back over here, back in was October 2019. This is about 6 weeks after we introduced NexTech. It was, what is it, 50 cents Canadian, I think it was, whatever the number was, 50 cents Canadian. The stock promptly went up 400% to $2.50. Is that 400? Whatever the number, it doesn't matter, right? It went up to 250, from 50 cents to 250 in after the breakout. The breakout was October 3rd, November. In 6 weeks. I've been telling you guys the TenBagger window. The TenBagger window. This is the Jack Mark's theory of getting rich with penny stocks. These stocks, the TenBagger window is when the big move happens. Look, these things go in cycles, up, down, consolidate, whatever, and then all of a sudden, boom, they hit the inflection point. The news flow kicks in. All the stars align. The planets align. Okay, the planets go into alignment, and everything is in favor. And you have this asymmetrical setup, and these stocks just go up explosively in a short period of time. Look at any chart where you see these massive moves. 10, 20, 100x moves. The big move happens in a very tight window of time. They consolidate for a long time, but the big move happens. This is happening right now. Again, it's happening right now as we speak. And if you're not watching this, I feel sorry for you. I really feel sorry for you. A lot of people are going to miss the boat. And you know what? I'm happy you're going to miss the boat. I'm actually, you know what? I'm glad very few people are watching, because we need buyers at higher prices. We need people who, have their hands folded across the chest, wait and see. I talk about this, in our videos, the educational videos. We need the doubters. We need the haters. We need the doubters, because those are the ones that convert into buyers. They convert into the FOMO buyers at higher prices. We need somebody to be buying stock at $2. We need somebody buying at $3. We need somebody buying at $5 and at $7, and even at $10. Okay. So look. Okay, let's go back to the chart. Look at this. So the first time it broke out, it was up 5x. The next time we had the same event, it's the same event. It's the science. Look at this. The 50 and the 200-day moving average, the breakout, the stock went from a dollar. Was it $1? Was it $1, right? $1. I can't see $1. Yeah, $1.50. I don't know. Doesn't make $1, whatever the number is, doesn't make a difference. $1, $1.50. April of 2020, $1.50. Okay, let's just say $1. So April, and by July 9th, April, May, June, July. So 3 months, it was up to $10. So you had basically a 10x. Okay, maybe it was an 8.5x, but it happened in 3 months. What have I been saying about the TenBagger window? And we're in that window right now. The stock is, they're generating massive news flow. You know what? Look at this. Here, you got to check out the videos I've been putting out on the Penny Stock Billionaire Gang channel, because that's where I have all the education videos. I'm giving you valuable gems. I mean, this is like massive billionaire pearls of wisdom here. Look, you can tell one of the most important things with these penny stocks is the quality of the CEO, okay? Quality of the CEO, you want a 100-bagger CEO. Don't look for the 100-bagger stock. You look for the 100-bagger CEO, like Tesla, Apple. You got these, listen, I mean, those guys are, when you think about it, really, they're actually kind of psychopathic. I mean, Evan, I think the guy is also a little bit psychopathic. Those three guys, Evan Gappelberg, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, these guys could have been triplets at birth. They could have been triplets at birth. Now, am I saying that NexTech is going to become a $1 trillion company? Probably not. Most likely not. I would say most likely not. But is it going to become a $1 billion company? I think there's a very high probability. I'll tell you why. It's just purely simple. Again, you want the guy who's in it to win it. In it to win it. Compare. Let's compare Evan. Let's compare him to Jay over at Visibility, the Bobsey twins over at Fans Unite. Who are down 90%. You got Prad from Skylight. Again, these are former clients. And by the way, all three of those guys could have been fucking superstars. They could have been superstars. But what did they do? What did they do? How about, what's his name? The guy from ESC. What the fuck is his name? Conrad. All these guys, they all talk a big game, right? But what have they been doing the last 6 months? They've been hiding in their basement. They've been hiding with their mommy in their basement. Because the market is going down. The market is going down. Oh, we want to hold news. Oh, this just shows you. These guys are showing you their true colors. Because look, somebody who's running a real business, they're putting out news. They're being transparent for investors. Somebody who's basically like some sort of fugazi promoter or whatever. They just put out good news only when the market is good, because they think like a low-life promoter, right? So you know what? I think the BCSC should throw those guys in jail. Really, it's what an insult. What an insult. I mean, really, these guys, Jay from Visibility, Prad, what's his name? Scott Burton, Darius Segdami, Conrad. I mean, these guys should be in prison for, really defrauding shareholders, basically. I mean, because that's what this is. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, not legally, legally, that's the beauty of the Canadian markets. What they're doing is illegal, but is it ethical? Is it moral? Look, these guys are fucking disgrace to their country, to their companies, to their employees, to their families, to their religion. I mean, they should just commit seppuku. I mean, if they were Japanese, that's what they should do, to be honorable. Anyway, look, NexTech, you want to stick with the winners. And this, you're seeing this stock is textbook. NexTech is textbook 100-bagger textbook. Now, I'm not saying the stock is going to 100x. I'm not saying that. I'm not making price representations. I'm not making price predictions. I'm not making any what do you call it? Advice. Nothing is advice. The stock can go to zero tomorrow. It can go to absolutely. It might even go. It might go negative. It might go like negative $10. Remember, like when we had negative oil during the like March of 2020, oil went negative like $90 or something. It could happen. It's possible. NexTech could go negative like $20 a share. So in other words, if you own a share of NexTech, you might owe $20 to some. I don't know. It's possible. You never know. Things can go crazy in this planet. But here's the reality. The reality is that these guys are. Everything is starting to happen. They got the deal with the blue chip companies. We know it's Amazon. They got. I mean, all of a sudden, it's a $7 million. Think about this. Now, think about this. Here's what I figured out. By the way, let's look at the chart. I want to show you something amazing. Again, I'm a student of WD Gann, Bayer, time price geometry. To me, this chart, I was saying this before, I think this is going to be a $15 stock. By the way, I said it was going to be a $10 stock back in 2 years ago, and it hit $10. Okay, I'm wrong because it was $10. I apologize. It was $10 Canadian. I was basically saying the potential was $10 US. Okay, so I was wrong. It only went to $10 Canadian, so it was like $8 US. So it was only it was still a $10-bagger. But right now, I'm looking at this chart based on the Bayer, the WD Gann time price geometry. We got a massive, beautiful base right here. Massive, beautiful base. I think we're going to hit 15, $20 on NexTech. Does it make sense? Absolutely not. There's no fundamental reason why the stock should be $15 or $20. Absolutely not. It sounds crazy. It's absolute lunacy. But I'm going to leave you with two facts. Number one, we got the 50 and 200-day moving average breakout. I don't care what you say. The science does. This is math science. We've seen what happens. Statistical probability. The last two times it happened, the stock went up 400% and like 900%, or 350% and 800, whatever the number is, 5x, 10x, it doesn't matter. Basically, people made a shitload of money on those breakouts. It's happening as we speak, right? Literally this minute. Actually, no, it's even better. It happened last week, and now we're just getting a follow through now. It should be stronger, but I don't know. It'll take a while. But so the technical picture is amazing. We have a massive base. But then I was thinking, how is it possible? How can this stock go to $10? How could it go to $15? You know what? I think there's a path. I think there's actually a path to get there. Now, by the way, this is not. I'm not saying it's going to get there. I'm not making any representations. How can it get there? Look at it this way. They got this deal with Amazon that's probably going to hit, let's call it 7 million next year, plus minus whatever. That's one deal. Let's say they get a couple more. I mean, again, once you got the big guys in, once you get one of the big leaders, you can get the other people in the e-commerce is $5 trillion. Once these knuckleheads see that Amazon is going all in with NexTech on this stuff, they're going to do it because that's how it works. They don't want to miss the boat. They don't want to miss the boat. And here's what's interesting. There's a shift. The money is going away from ad dollars. In other words, the ad dollars are going away from Facebook and from Google ads. They're going to things like this. They're going to Web3, 3D models. These guys need to make money. It's we're going into a recession here. So the Amazon is the thought leader in the space. They're going in with NexTech on 3D models. I believe. I mean, listen, it's not what I believe. It's kind of reality. Where Amazon goes, the industry follows. I mean, that's just the way it is, right? So if NexTech has got, what is it, 7-8 million now with Amazon for next year, I mean, and we just started basically, right? Is it possible that we could hit a $50 million run rate by next year? Can we exit next year at a $50 million run rate? I think it's possible. I think it's possible. Look, we've seen NexTech go into hypergrowth several times. We've seen the hypergrowth, and we've seen the stock explode. So now here's the thing. If it goes to 50 million revenues, I believe the market will put a crazy multiple on it. Not 10x. It's possible it's going to overshoot to 20x revenues, and that would give it $1 billion valuation. $1 billion divided by 100 million shares outstanding, that's $10 a share. American $10 a share. So, that's about $13 Canadian or so. So it kind of makes sense now. Now, again, the chart is telling us something. I don't know. I think this is the path. I think this is how it's going to get there. I believe the chart is telling us we're going to see a $15, $20 stock. Last week I was saying I don't know how it's possible. It's telling me it's going to happen. I don't know how. But now I think this is the answer. I think if we can hit a $50 million run rate at some point, the market's going to go absolutely crazy for the stock because, again, there's couple things. Number one is you got a hyper growth, you got a hot sector, Web3, AR. Well, I think that stuff is going to become hot mid next year. By April, May, it's going to become super hot. We're in right now. People are there's just such kind of market depression. People are what's the word? They're it's a complete capitulation. We're in the capitulation phase of the markets right now. Total capitulation. And, at some point, people are going to kind of, they're going to get back to normal. And then they're going to say, hey, where can we make money? This is going to be the place. I think this is going to be the place. Web3, e-commerce, 3D models. This is the future. Again, we're seeing a massive paradigm shift. It's going to be very exciting. So I think the big move, the massive mega move is going to happen Q1. I think we're going to probably close the year at around $2. I think we'll probably get to $2 by late December. We're going to have a sneak attack towards $2, maybe even $2.50. I think we'll get to $2.50. Now, there's really not a lot. Okay, look at this chart I'm showing you on the screen. There's no resistance here at this point. We're breaking out. There's really nothing here now. There's nothing going on like till maybe, I don't know, maybe $5. There's really nothing till about $5 a share. So I think we can have a stealth bull market to $2.50, $3 very quickly. And I think, what is it? HC Wainwright, what's their price target on NexTech? I think it's is it two? I think it's $2.50 a share, American, right? They get a $2.50 price target. Makes sense to me. It makes sense. By the way, I'm showing you the Canadian chart. So yeah, it makes sense. I think we'll probably get to $2.50 by end of the year, by December. So we're about 6 weeks away. The stock is going to probably double. Again, not a projection, not a price representation, not advice. Just saying, based on the chart, it looks like we'll probably get to $2.50 end of the year. And then January, February, we're going to have a massive, next year, I think is going to be massive for NexTech. Here's the other thing. Now, I was looking at the live stream last week, I think it was. Evan was talking about the AI and, I really think the guy really has a target of he wants this thing to get to $1 billion valuation because, that's the dream. That's the vision. It's, that's what the guy needs to do. Otherwise, he's going to feel like a failure. And that's what's driving him. He needs to get this to $1 billion because, I don't know. He wants to be, he's got friends who are billionaires. He doesn't want to be a loser, right? That's what motivates people. You got to look at the psychology, what motivates people. You want to be, you want to be around other winners. So this guy, I think, is going to go nonstop. And you're seeing the news flow. This company has been relentless. Consistent for the last, I mean, really, since day one, like literally, since I got involved with this company. I mean, I'm sure they were doing it beforehand, but like I haven't seen really. I don't think there was ever a period that 2 weeks went by there was no news in the time I've known this company. I don't think there was a period more than 2 weeks. Maybe in the dead of summer or something, maybe like that. But I don't think there was ever a 2 week period that was not a piece of news. Um, why can't all these other companies do that? I mean, they all have news going on. I know like VSBY, Fans, all these companies have stuff going on. They do. But these guys are just lazy. I mean, they're just lazy scumbags. That's what they are. What's his name? What the fuck is his last? Uh, uh, I forgot his name. The guys at the Fans Unite. I mean, they're just lazy. Okay, their PR firms are lazy. Okay, who's working for Fans? The parasite Prit Singh. He's a lazy bastard. He should be doing his job, which is coming up with news ideas, news releases to put out. That's what he should be doing all day. He's getting paid for that. Why isn't he doing it? Because he's a scumbag thief. He should be working his tail off 24/7, making that stock go up. Fans Unite should be going up. It's not. Why? Why is it down 90%? Call him up and complain. If you want the contrast, the complete polar opposite, that's NexTech. Look at this. Look at the more. I mean, look at the company. Look at NexTech compared to all the other companies in the microcap space. Let's make a comparison. Performance, right? So NexTech started off the year roughly $1.02. Okay. It started off January 5th, was $1.02. Today we're at $1.02. So for the year, NexTech is unchanged. Now you may think, wow, that's horrible. Wow, it's unchanged. Wow, my money's been dead for a year. Yeah, well, the other companies in the microcap space are down 90%. I mean, Fans Unite is down 90%. VSBY is down 90%. ESC is down 90. I mean, okay, maybe not 90. I think ESC is only down, 70%. What else? Who else is down? Yeah, I mean, most of these other bums, they're down significant numbers. They're down significantly. Why is that? Why is that? You know why? I'll tell you what it is. It's very simple. It's very simple. They are the reason why, and this is pretty interesting. I think if companies like Skylight or VSBY, whatever, if they were actually engaging with investors like they were doing before, when they were on the Wall Street Report, their stock was going up, right? Everything was great, but then they thought they were geniuses. They thought they were, they knew better, whatever. And they stopped doing what was working, and look what happened. They're down 90%. Interesting, huh? All right. Anyway, look, bottom line is the companies that are transparent, that are engaged with investors, that are actually working, they're actually producing. It shows up in the market. It shows up in the market. It's showing up right now with NexTech. This thing is going to moon mode. Okay, we got 1 minute to go. Look at this beautiful chart. What an amazing chart. We got a massive breakout. Let's look at the zoom in. Wow. Look at this. I mean, should I make you a candlestick chart? I mean, I know some of you guys are like kind of retarded and, okay. Look at this. Big green huge candle. I mean, what do I need to draw for you? I need to draw a picture. I need to make a cartoon picture to say moon or something. What do I need to do to explain this? You got the pennant. Actually, no, I'll do this. I'll just do this for you right now. I'll just do this because I know some people watching are slightly retarded. So I'm going to do this right now, just for you. Okay, here we go. You got the 1 and 2. Boom. There you go. There's your triangle pennant breakout. Boom. This is what I showed you on the Twitter today. I don't know why everybody, I think everybody should have just bought the stock. Again, not advice. It's not advice at all. But if you look at the technicals, the charts, it's not me saying it, it's the chart saying. It's the chart speaking, not me. It's the chart. The chart is speaking. The charts never lie. The charts never lie. The chart is the absolute truth. It's like, the word from God. I mean, really, it's pure mathematics. So it's got to be from God. I mean, it's not coming from man, right? I mean, it's not coming from a human source. It's math. It's math. So it's divine. It's a spiritual thing, right? So it's a pure spiritual concept here. Let's take a look deeper. Let's take a look deeper. So so we're at $1.02. We're closing at $1.02. I'm shocked this thing didn't close at like $1.25, $1.50. Tomorrow could be huge. Tomorrow could be huge. If you missed out today, you probably may have your last opportunity maybe tomorrow. After that, I don't think you'll ever be able to buy the stock again under like $2, in my opinion. I think it's going to go to buck. It's going to just run away from you. I think it's just going to run away. It's just the way it works. Sorry, guys. Okay, pennant breakout again. 1 hour chart shows you the same thing. Okay, we got the 4 hour chart. Boom, there you go. There's your moon mode. How about the weekly chart? I gotta clear these drawings. How do I clear the drawing? Draw, clear drawing. Let me get rid of this. Okay, look at this. Okay, this is big. This is the weekly chart. The weekly chart is very, very important. Very important. And we're looking at the 50-day moving average, 50-week moving average. And today we closed above the 50-week moving average. There you go. It's right here. There you go. You got to zoom in. We closed right above it. That's a significant number. So tomorrow, I think the algorithm is going to kick in. If there's some buying in the morning, the algorithm is going to go bananas. They're going to go bananas. Look, there's no resistance till about 250. This could be a straight moonshot to 250, then $4 or $5, and then it's the stock is going to go complete Donkey Kong at some point. I believe. Again, I'm not making projections. It could go to zero. It's a very high risk stock. Again, let me be clear. It's not for widows and orphans. Do not invest money that you can't afford to lose in this or any penny stock, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, this is not like I'm not like. I know there's some guys out there, some like low life promoters in Vancouver, some dirty Sanchez guys that are, basically their whole thing is, they want to get, immigrants to buy stocks and like taxi drivers and school teachers, students, complete lunacy. I mean, it's like these guys should be in prison. Look, penny stocks are high risk. It's speculative. It should only be traded by people who are willing to who fully understand the risk that they could lose all their money. So, don't risk money you can't afford to lose. It's super high risk. It's public venture capital. That's what this is. Okay, this is not for students, immigrants, school teachers. No, it's not. It's for people who've made some money. Okay, I mean, you shouldn't be trading these stocks unless you already have some money. Now, okay, let's look at this chart, 50-week moving average. What's happened every time this thing broke out of the 50-week moving average? Look, the first time the stock went from 90 cents to almost $3. The next time it went from $1.50 to $10. Now the sell signal was when it broke below it 2 times, right? Again, these moving averages, sometimes they lag a little bit, but now we're breaking out above it. Look what happened last time. In July, we touched that 50-week moving average and couldn't break out. We couldn't break out in July. Look at this. You see this? This is it right here. We touched it, but we closed below it. Now we broke above it for the first time ever. For the first time ever in since you know what? Since here. Okay, so since April of 2020. To me, I mean, that's incredibly bullish. Think about it. Think about it. The last time NexTech broke above the 50-week moving average was in 2020. And we know what happened in 2020. Yes, the stock went full moon mode. It went up 10x. Good question. Why do I knock your past clients but use? Yeah, I'm saying yeah. When they were clients, you know, their stock price went up when they were on the Wall Street Reporter platform. Now, why do I knock them? Because I expect more of them. You should be worried about the people I don't talk about, because if I'm not talking about them, that means I have no expectations of them. I have like zero expectations, and that's an insult in a way, right? These guys could have been massive winners. I mean, if you look at Pratt, that guy could have been a superstar. I mean, this guy had, I mean, great salesman. He's got the guy could have been a superstar. Conrad could have been a superstar. The guys at the Fans, also Jay, he's a little wacky, whatever. But when I think when he was on Wall Street Reporter, I brought out the best in him, and he did very well. Why? Think about it. Why did his stock go up when he was on Wall Street Reporter, and then after? I mean, some of these guys. Here's what's interesting. Again, I'm not trying to brag or whatever. The reality is this. I'm gonna give you the facts. I'm doing this 25 years, right? I don't need to do this anymore. Like I got a couple bucks, right? I basically invented the idea of CEO interviews online in 1997. Wall Street Reporter was around 180 years, 180-year-old brand. I launched it online with the concept of doing CEO interviews and streaming audio. You guys called podcast. Back then it was called streaming audio, and nobody else was doing it, right? The idea was this. The idea was the CEO ultimately is the one that makes these stocks go, right? It's ultimately the upside. The future of microcaps is driven by the CEO. Not so much when it comes to bigger companies, multi-billion-dollar companies. For those guys, huge organizations, it doesn't really matter. But when it comes to smaller cap, under $1 billion, $2 billion, $5 billion, the CEO makes a big difference. And look, that's why, think about it. I have videos on this. That's why big hedge funds pay millions of dollars a year for something called corporate access. What is corporate access? Corporate access is simply doing what we give you all the time on these live streams. It's access to the CEOs. What they do is they bring in the CEOs to their office, and they ask them a bunch of questions, and they see how these CEOs react. They try to, squeeze them for information, just like we do on these live streams. Now, you're getting it for free. Now, look, I've been doing it for Wall Street Reporters online since 97, however many years that is. I'm not that good at math. Now, we have a format that works. It's a subtle difference. There's some nuances, right? But there's been a bunch of copycat. Look, it doesn't take a genius to say, hey, we'll do interviews, whatever. I mean, the more the merrier, right? But if you notice, why is it that all these guys all of a sudden started doing CEO interviews? Why is it that all of a sudden you got that guy, Greasy George, you got Greasy George at Agoracom, who was, what is it? He's basically a fraudster, right? I mean, look at his record on, I think he had some 600 fake accounts pumping stocks. I mean, massive fraud, right? On his clients and investors. And then you have what else? You got a bunch of these other knuckleheads out there. Why is now they charge a little bit less money than we do, right? And they do these interviews. But why is it that when the CEOs go on those programs, nothing happens to the stock? Why is it when they go on Wall Street Report, the stock goes up? Think about it. What goes on? I mean, do I need to explain things to you? I mean, I don't know. By the way, it's not me. It's not my personality. I'm not, like some, broadcast journalist guy. That's not what it's about. That's not what it's about. Um, Bottom line is, um, I want those guys to do better because I still own those shares. I own shares. I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off. Dulo Aliu. I'm pissed off at Jay and Prad and the knuckleheads at Fans because these guys could have been superstars. Really, they could have been superstars. And it's complete stupidity. I mean, they're complete morons. That's just what it is. Anyway, hopefully, look, I'm hoping that they're going to be motivated and they'll rise. People can change, right? People can change. I'm hoping they'll be motivated and they'll realize that they don't want to be losers. They don't want to be a disgrace, to their families. I mean, they don't want their grandchildren asking them in 30 years from now, grandpa Prad, how come your stock could have been a $20 stock and ended up being a penny stock at a penny, or grandpa Conrad, you could have been a $1 billion esports company and you're a shitty 2-cent stock, right? Hopefully they change their path. So anyway, bottom line is, let's talk about something much more important, which is NexTech. So I'm giving you complete contrast. I'm giving you winners and losers. You saw the path of losers, and now you see the path of winners. NexTech is the winning stock. This is the champion stock, and we got a breakout, a massive breakout, technical breakout. Oh, by the way, there's also a lot of good news. I mean, look, I can spend an hour talking about the fundamentals. You got the shift of the whole $5 trillion e-commerce industry to Web3 to 3D. I can go into all that stuff, but you know what? Like you don't need me to explain it to you. Check out the videos, check out the interviews we have with Evan. Explains the story much better than I can. Check out the press releases. It gives you everything you need to know. I'm just here to explain to you the charts because that's a little bit more like nuanced, and I think not everybody covers it. So I'm covering the chart here for you. Bottom line again, we got a massive breakout of the 52-week the chart here, the weekly chart. The last time this happened was back in 2020. And we know what happened in 2020. The stock went up 10x. Is NexTech going to go 10x? Is NexTech going to go 10x? That is the question. That is the question. Is NexTech going to be a TenBagger again? We're going to find out. We're going to find out, I think, in the next week or so. Because if we see a follow through, I'm expecting a follow through, right? Tomorrow or the next day, today's Monday, right? Okay, so by Tuesday or Wednesday. Now, you know what? The market is perverse. The market is perverse. It's very likely we might see a down day tomorrow, maybe even the next day, a little bit, just to like shake out all the weak hands. And then the stock goes bananas. It just goes completely bananas. I think that. So here's the candlestick chart for you guys. It's very obvious what's going on, right? We broke out of the 200-day moving average. Boom, pullback. Okay, on the right, the next day we pull back, breakout. So tomorrow, I would say 65% probability we get a pullback. And again, I'm not giving advice, but you could figure it out for yourself what the right move is. But we should see higher highs by the end of the week. I think we're going to see a new high for the year by Friday. I think we see. Let me see. What's the high for the year? Is it possible? No, that might be a little too much. Yeah, that might be expecting a little too much. $1.90 is the high for the. we're not going to get to $1.90 by Friday. We might get to like $1.25. I think we'll get to $1.25 very likely the next 7 days. Very likely. Again, not making any representations, not saying it's going there, not advice. Again, this is a stock that could go to zero, even less than zero, very possible. And I think we're going to see, again, this week, extremely important week for NexTech. Extremely important. Next week could be explosive. I think we're on the path to 250 by the end of the year, and $10 by within 12 months. I think we're going to go back to $10. I think we're going back to $10. It's the bottom line. I think there's a path to get there now. If NexTech hits 25 or 50 million in revenues, I think the market would give it a 40x, 20x, whatever it is. The market would give it that $1 billion valuation. We saw that with Figma. Adobe bought Figma for what, 40 times the revenues or something crazy. 40 billion, 50, some crazy numbers. And I think, oh shit, what's going on here? Oh, yeah. Yeah, just playing my watch here. I think we may have that with NexTech. So anyway, enough said. See you on the next live stream.